Hello, everyone. I'm Daryl from the MakeCode team at Darzu on the forum.
I'm Richard from the MakeCode team, and Richard in real life too. If you find me on the street, say hello.
I'm Shannon. I'm at Shakal on the MakeCode forum.
Awesome. So today is the Arcade Advanced live stream. So we didn't have a stream on Friday, sort of a long holiday for a lot of folks. Or what?
Yesterday. It's Tuesday.
Or yesterday, yes.
Or Thursday.
Or we didn't have one Thursday either?
No, yeah, because Pelly bumped us for the...
Oh, yeah, there was another event on Thursday. So it's been a little while. So today I was thinking one thing I would like to do is recreate this game that I actually tried to make on stream, I think a little over a week ago, but the recording did not work out for technical reasons. So there's no record of that anywhere. And I thought it was pretty fun and came up with some neat things. So kind of wanted to do that. The idea is you've got a character that's in the center of the screen or wherever, and they have a weapon, which is something that orbits around them. And the thing that orbits around them then kind of bumps or smashes into enemies and destroys them. And you can get more of these things to circle around you, and then you can expand or contract the radius of these orbiters. And that's kind of a fun little gameplay mechanic. So I thought I'd, recreate that today.
There was a game for the Wii that was just like that, which I'm trying to remember now. I'm going to look it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But were you swinging it for the Wii or?
No, you were a planet, and you would go in between different orbitals of other planets, and you would try to collide with smaller ones so that you could get bigger and build up your mass.
Mm-hmm.
And so you basically had two buttons, like increase gravity or decrease gravity, and it would move you farther or closer. It was a really fun game.
Nice.
I'll find the name of
it. Cool. Yeah, I haven't played too many games like this. There's one I know, but you have to manually control. It's more like there's something heavy hanging below you, and then you use the mouse to move in circular motions to swing it around you. That one's really fun. I think it's called Hammer Flight or something like that.
Hammer Flight.
The game I was thinking of, by the way, is called Orbiant. And I don't know if you can play it anymore because it was only released for the Wii, and I don't think the Wii Nintendo shop works anymore. But it was a fun game.
Nice. Anyway, so let's create a game and see how this turns out. Okay, so I'm going to create a player sprite like we usually do. I'm going to rename this. I like to give my players names, so this one is going to be. I need a good name. Kelp. So we have a dog at my house named Kelp. For I don't know why, but that's her name. She's great. Okay, so now that we've got Kelp, I think this is going to be. So I'm trying to think what the setting is here. So you're a player and you're swinging something around you, and it's running into things. I was thinking it could be something like.
Could you be a whirlpool intercepting ships on the ocean?
Could be a whirlpool intercepting ships on the ocean. Yeah.
Or a tornado picking up hot air balloons.
Tornado picking up cows.
Oh no, the cows.
Those poor cows.
What? They're fine.
You're gonna be smashing them into things.
Cows are very resilient.
This could be like a marshmallow planet or something.
Yeah.
And they would be totally fine.
You could pick up a variety. It could be like a random image between like a cow or like a tractor or like a house.
Okay, let's do tornado. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Just picking up random objects.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to, for whatever reason, tornado is centered around this dog. So I'm going to draw our player character, hopefully somewhat faithfully here. And as they move, this tornado will sort of follow them. Need some ears. Kind of looks like
a dog. It just, I would make the eye not yellow, but
yeah.
Maybe like a little bit longer.
Or white. Yeah, a little longer.
Maybe add a word bubble that says wolf.
Yes. Help it identify as dog. And I don't know why I picked brown. The dog's actually kind of gray and
you could do that, yeah, like purpley.
Yeah, maybe something like this. Yeah.
We've seen your dog. She's a great dog.
Okay, we'll do this for now. So I've got kelp here in the center, and I'm going to move kelp with buttons like we normally do. This lets her move around the screen. Okay, cool. So actually, I think I'm going to set a background color to something else, like, a neutral dirt. Yeah. And now I'm going to start, I want things to orbit around kelp. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is, let me think. So I'm going to create the thing that is going to be orbiting. So this is going to be sort of like tornado-ish. The tricky thing is I'm not going to be rotating it. So it's going to have to be sort of, I think I'll just do sort of like an air particle thing, and then maybe we just add more of these to make it look.
So you could do the cool radial particle effect.
Ooh, yeah, I can put that on here. So let's see. I'm going to call this an orbiter kind, and
but if you just put it on kelp, it might look like wind is going around kelp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So yeah, let's do that. So let's look for effects, start effect on kelp. And let's say we're doing the cool radial effect forever. Yeah, it's a little slow for how I'm imagining this thing going.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to keep this off to the side, and I'm going to try it out once I have kind of the orbiter going. Okay, so the thing with orbits is we are going to use a little bit of Trig, but this Trig I think is going to be simpler than most of the Trig we normally do. So I'm going to add a comment here. So the orbiter is going to have an angle that is going to be looping around between 0 and 360 degrees, or 0 to pi. So angle loops between, or I think negative pi and pi is what we came up with before, what we had to do. And the x position of the orbiter is going to be the cosine of this angle, except that, so it's going to be the cosine of the angle multiplied by the distance. Let me think. Yeah, I think that just works.
Yep. Plus the origin.
Oh, plus the origin, right? Or player.x plus kelp.x here. Kelp dot y for the y, and instead of cosine, it's going to be sine, and times the distance. So if you look at a diagram of cosine and sine and what they represent, hopefully this should make some sense, but we're just going to go ahead and do this for now. So I'm going to, before I make it move, I'm just going to do a fixed angle thing. So I'm going to say current angle, or yeah, current angle is, let's say that starts at 0. And then I'm going to create another variable for orbit distance. And let's set that to 10. I don't know. We'll tweak this as we go. Also, I don't know why I named that O. I guess I can't call it orbiter because I called the kind orbiter the orbiter. Okay. And now what I want to do is set the orbiter's x to a math expression. So I'm going to need a plus, I'm going to need a times, and I'm going to need a cosine, which is inside of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in here, these are like the advanced mathy things. There's cosine, and we want to do the cosine times something plus something. So the thing that is going to be inside the cosine. Oh, I should have done this separately. Okay, let's pull this out. It's a little easier to drag and drop some of these things. There we go. And we're going to be multiplying this by the distance. And we're going to add in the x position of kelp. Let's do that. And I'm going to do the same thing with y. So just Control C, Control V, switch all these to y, and set this to sine. Okay, so now we've got this thing. Let's make the distance a little bigger. And it starts out one time at this angle from kelp. And if I change this to another angle, so I know that pi is 3.14. So if I do pi 3.14, then that's going to be on the other side. And if I do, roughly half of that, then it'll be down below. And if I do negative half of that, I think it should be above. Yeah. So that roughly seems to be working as expected. Great. So now what I need to do is change this angle over time and position the orbiter over time. So I'm going to use on-game update. And in this case, I'm going to, I'm just going to grab all of this except for the distance, because that doesn't need to change. And I'm going to, also the initial angle I'm gonna leave here. I'm gonna say change the current angle by something. I don't know what yet. I'm gonna do something small, I think. And there we go. Look at that. So this is how fast we move around kelp. So if I double that, we should go twice as fast. And if I, make it much smaller, we should go pretty slow. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. We have something orbiting around kelp. And if I move around, it stays relative to kelp. All right, and yeah, that was just a few lines of code here. So I think this is going to be useful in a lot of different scenarios. But for our particular game, let's start adding some sort of thing that this whirlwind runs into. And then I think so. The mechanics I had in the other game, in the other stream, was you have these things that spin around you, and as you destroyed more enemies, you had chance to drop a power up that, if you picked up, would give you another thing that orbits around you. And I thought that was really fun to have lots of things kind of build up around you, and then also be able to change this orbit distance. So just to show, actually, I'll just build this now. So if you hit the A button, let's just say we increase the orbit distance to 48. And now if I hit this, you can just see it's bigger. And then I can do another thing, which is on released, we set this back to what it was. I think, yeah. So you can sort of press and release to increase the orbit.
Hey, it looks like it's going faster when it's at a higher radius.
It is, yes, because the angle is moving at the same speed every time. And so if you have something that is farther away from you, but changing a certain angle, then the arc speed is going to be much faster. Wait, no.
No, that was right. Yeah. So
yeah,
basically,
okay.
The farther you get away from something, if you're orbiting around it, if you have the same angular velocity, which is that 0.1 that Daryl put in there, it will increase the actual speed, so like the XY speed. But I don't think it really matters in this game. I think it's kind of fun if it goes faster when it's farther out.
The other game, actually, we did change. We had a variable for angular velocity, and we changed that based on if you are farther out or not. Let's leave that for now. Let's add some things to run into, because that's, I think, where this gets fun. So I'm gonna.
So we got stacks of hay, probably like silos,
Definitely a
Like,
tractor.
Yeah, a tractor.
Things
Dorothy in a
to
blue dress.
wait.
There could only be one Dorothy.
Track.
It should be the win condition.
There's a Dorothy. Okay. Shannon had cows.
Yes, cows. Silos, I think Richard said.
Yeah.
Oh, silos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, these are all classic things that tornadoes can run into.
Mhm.
I think we want to keep the game a little lighthearted, though. I don't know if we really want to be destroying and too many things.
The tornado picks them up, and then you puts them down in like a magical faraway land.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
It's a teleporting tornado. You know.
Yeah, like we get those all the time in Kansas.
All right. Great. So let's start creating something. So I'm going to let's see. I think it's kind of fun if they. Let me see. How should this work?
I think there's like two ways you could kind of do the movement in this game, right? We could do it either as a kind of fixed scroller. So
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Space Destroyer type game where the player always stays in the same place and things come down at them. The other option would be we could do a tile map, and then that could end up being more of like a Katamari type game where we mark where all of these things are and you just kind of, get more and more orbiters as you destroy them all.
Yeah.
This totally is a Katamari style game.
It is totally a Katamari.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know Katamari.
So basically, it was a game that came out for the PS2, and it was you're a little prince rolling around this big like ball called a Katamari, and when you go over things that are smaller than you, it sticks to it. So you start just picking up like paper clips and things, and then by the end of the game, you're picking up mountains and stuff because you have this gigantic Katamari that's just snowballing this huge.
There's a lot of advertisements for games like these. I don't know why I get so many Target advertisements for this. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun. So, what's the challenge? You
have different objectives where it's like, like collect 20 playing cards or like, find the item that's worth the most money. Like
or pick up this number of things in this amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds kind of fun. Let me think. So what so to create that world, okay, let's do that. So I'm going to create a tile map. And I think the way this is going to work is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to create a custom tile that is just going to be like a placeholder where things can. What's that?
Oh, sorry. No, I just said like a thing.
Yeah. So this is just a place for things to spawn. And since it's the same color as the background, this won't actually show up, but it will let us place things somewhere. So I'm just going to pick. You know what? Actually, I think we can do this even simpler. I'm just going to do a totally blank tile map. And then what I'm going to do is for a certain number of times, I don't know, 10, we can just create, I'm going to say create thing. And create thing is going to just place maybe randomly on the tile map, and we can make something more sophisticated later. So I'm going to they're not really enemies. I'm going to say we have a new type that is thing, and then I'm going to rename this to the thing. I'll worry
that's
about.
That's not been grim. No more comic jokes.
There were a couple.
Well, so I think we can just place this on top of a random blank tile, and this will just populate our world 10 times. With these things. Okay, so what's the first thing I should do?
It's really easy to draw haystacks.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Well, it sounds easy.
You just draw a bunch of lines, basically all kind of like going upwards,
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
But with different.
Upwards?
How do I get the contrast?
So you do this once. You use the line tool and just do a bunch of straight lines with yellow, and then you switch to orange and you do a few more.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna use the pencil. I don't know if this is really coming across, but yeah, let's try. Now I got another color.
I don't know. Do you have a better idea, Shannon?
Oh, I was picturing like a bale of hay. Like it's like
Circular.
Yeah.
but then this is good too.
That
We should
might
do
be
this.
easier. This looks like a fire. I don't know. Maybe you're picking up fires. Okay, it's a thing. You know.
It is a
Can't-
thing.
can't really-
Yeah.
Can't dispute it's a thing. And there it is. And so when I refresh the game, I get different amounts of these all around.
Mhm.
So I think it would be great to have multiple of these things. So I'm actually gonna just create an array of, and we can create the array outside of here. And the array is not going to be of numbers. It is going to be of images. So whoops, let's drop that into there. And these are things. Yeah, sure.
By the way, normally it's bad to name things in your program like thing and the thing and things, but it applies in this case. So we don't.
Yes. Okay, so the image is going to be, this is, I always wish we had a pick random from list. So I'm going to say get value at pick random between 0 and the array length -1.
Yep.
We did kind of
have a random block, but it caused a lot of bugs. So
really, like
yes,
people just.
I can give you the rule. I can give you the story afterwards offline.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so this will pick a random image from there. It's so long that I'm gonna create a new variable for this instead of putting it straight into actually script. I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay. So this should pick a random thing from this array. So let's get some more things. Oops. So if I just do that, now open up this one. Okay. So another thing.
Do a cow.
I mean, we already have some stuff that could be pretty good. Like we have
cat,
a car.
turn it into a cow.
Turn the cat into a car, or cat into a cow.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sweet. I am going to just pick a car though, because I feel like that's an appropriate thing to pick up for tornado. And at least some of the art in here won't look like I drew it. Okay, let's take the cat. Oh, okay, and the cow. So first thing I could think of is it needs to be white and black. And let's see. I think its eyes are a little less.
I think you should just like blank out the cat, just like turn everything white and then draw some spots on it. And I bet you would get like 99% there.
Okay, I'm trying to draw just some spots. So, what do you mean blank out the cat?
Use the fill tool and just dye everything white.
Like everything except the outline?
Yeah.
Including the ears?
Yeah.
Cows have floppy ears.
But they do have horns.
Yes.
They don't have much of a tail. Let's see. I'm going to shorten this tail a little bit. Maybe it should just sort of be that.
And then instead of the eyes, do like a big nose with 2 white dots in it, and then 2 little eyes.
Yes, thank you. That makes sense. It's going to be a big pink nose, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of might look like a pig. It's also a farm animal. Okay, so now we got some of these. I think this outline, I don't know if the brown still makes sense. Well, I don't know what that looks like.
Good cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you could flatten the top of the head a little bit and then just leave like the edges going in.
Yeah. I don't quite have the full artistic vision for this going on in my head. So it's a little
Looks like every cow I've ever seen.
All right.
It's a beautiful cow.
I've milked a cow before. Is anyone else on this call done that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I shouldn't have stepped to Daryl.
Cows, goats.
I don't know. It's a cow.
Kind of rural, I guess. Cool. So now we can move around, and we see all of these things here for us to pick up. And cool. That's fun. Let's have it so that when the orbiter hits these things, something happens. So let's see, what should happen? So maybe they kind of just get flung off of the edge of the screen. What do you guys think of that?
Another thing you could do is like just show them kind of adding to the mass by not having the actual sprite. That would also be pretty funny. But
oh, they could just like join the player.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle. Oh, actually, let's do this. I think this could work out well. Hang on. So I'm gonna say of kind thing overlaps orbiter. Then I'm just gonna actually have I'm just gonna use this, the follow, and I'm gonna say the orbiter follows kelp.
Other way around.
The thing follows kelp.
The thing follows kelp. Yes, the thing follows kelp. Okay, so I think this will add to the mass here. All right, I kind of like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
This is very charming. I love kelp's adoring massive fans.
I wish we could make them spread out a little bit, but I'm trying to think of a good way to do that, and I can't really think of anything.
And the other thing is, they could just wait. So this is how tornadoes work, right? When things get picked up, they just start spinning around in orbit.
Yeah,
so,
that's kind of what I originally meant, was just having them. Oh, what if you make them follow the orbiter? That'll be funny.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The orbiter. You could just do the one that hit them. Oh yeah, this works too.
Yeah, right. You can have them follow the one they hit, so that if we have multiple of these, then you can get, kind of a collection of these following around. So yeah, that basically works. Let's see if I make them.
The only thing I would do is I would make them ghosts, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of weird events after they've been hit.
Yeah, totally. So let's see. The speed, I think, needs to be somewhat fast.
Yeah, I think right now they're not making it all the way around before the orbiter does. Oh well. Well, that's okay.
When you stay still, it's okay, but when you're moving, you can really outpace them.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Yeah, I think this might work fine if we just had more orbiters, and then you have them sort of more spread out amongst orbiters.
Like maybe every time you get 10, you add another orbiter, kind of offset from the main one.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's do this. So let's have a ghost. Let me do that real quick before I forget. So what Richard was saying is we should set this property on the sprite, which is that we want it to be ghost. And what ghost means is that it doesn't collide with anything anymore, which is going to be important, because otherwise Arcade thinks that, man, it's colliding just all the time with that orbiter and has to refollow all the time. And it might slow down your game if it gets big. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable for num orbiters. And this is, going to start at 1. And then what I want to do is say that we're going to have a certain offset and angle offset. So I'm going to do another variable angle offset that is going to be equal to the angle divided by the number of orbiters. Sorry, not the angle, but
2 pi. So 6.28.
6.28. Yes, divided by the number of. So we can tell how many orbiters we have because I have a special kind for them. So there's array of all sprites of kind, and I can get the length of that, and that is. Ooh, it's always annoying to drop these in here. That is how many orbiters we've got. So yes, now each of the orbiters will be offset by a certain amount. So actually, let's start with like 3 so that I can kind of see this in action. And I'm going to drag a 4 index of, put this into there. And now the angle is going to be current angle plus, this is a little tricky. So what do I call this? Orbiter angle. I'm going to create another
just
variable.
Multiply by the index.
Yeah. So multiply the angle offset, but I have to add on the current angle as well. So let's add that and then take the current angle and add that in there. And then instead of current angle, we're going to use this orbiter. Oh, I shouldn't have pulled that other one out.
Try pulling it down and grabbing the edge of it. Oh, this works too.
Grabbing the edge?
No, you're good, yeah.
If you grab the left side, it's easier to drop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So orbiter angle. Okay, so let's see, from 0 to, and again, the how many I want to do is
no orbiters, right?
Yeah, you've only created 1 so far. You don't have any other sprites.
Oh, yeah. Right. So on game start, I need to do 0 to, yeah. So 0 to num orbiters. I need to create a that many. Actually, yeah, I don't need to use a variable for this because I don't need to use that variable again because I can just check the length of the array here. So we create that many orbiters and
grab the element.
Yeah, so you just,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a little tricky. So I just need to create another variable here that is the orbiter, and I need to get a value from the orbiter array list that is at that index. You might want to value at
that array and put it in its own variable.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of arcade insider knowledge. It'll recreate the array every time, so it'll be more efficient if you just put it in the
right. Yes. So orbiter list will save that, and we will use that variable in these places. That'll also clean up our code a little bit, or shorten our code anyway. So
you
let me
also
think.
have
So
to do -1 there for the
on the length, yeah. So math -1 on this guy. Oh, not that one. This one. Track 1 when looping around. Okay. Whew, that was a lot.
Yeah, the set orbiter list right there instead of.
Oh no, I renamed a variable. Yeah, so I want to do this to a new variable. Oh, sorry. No, I want to accidentally rename my orbiter angle. And this needs to be a new variable that's orbiter list. Now is, oh geez, I didn't name this right.
No, don't
No.
Just reset it to the list.
Yeah, you just want to select orbiter list from the dropdown.
Yes, I'm gonna fix this typo real quick too. Or
no, because you renamed the angle, it'll rename the
angle.
It's just fixing the spelling.
Oh,
yeah,
I
just fixing the spelling there. Yeah, and then yes, I need to put this into there. Okay, that got a little confusing. So let me see. Orbiter list, offset angle, divided by length of. Yes, because these are all mixed up. Length of.
I think that's good.
Yeah, look at it.
That was a little painful, but okay, look at that. So now we have more things that we can go around and collect.
So there's one other change I think you need to make to your code real quick. If you go to where the overlap is.
Yeah.
So don't. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yes.
Great minds think alike.
So now whichever orbiter picks it up, that's the one it follows from now on. So hopefully that means you get sort of a more even distribution of things sort of following you.
Oh no. So happens when you move, I see.
Yeah, so when you move, they just sort of trail pretty far behind. I'm not sure there's a great way to fix that. I could make them orbit, use the orbit logic. Actually, I got an idea. I think I could do, okay, this is a little crazy, but
the orbiters.
I think I could just change the sprite kind here. Yeah, of the target to be an orbiter. And then I think they will just naturally join, your thing. Although it's a little weird because now you've got, the tornado-y elements here. I think this is still kind of fun though.
I think we should evenly space them, but I like this a lot.
Yeah. Not sure how we evenly space them.
So if you just start with one, and that
it
one
swaps
is
out,
not.
Maybe?
It just.
Oh, I see. So
yeah,
start with one of these.
Oops. And then every time the list gets to we keep track of the number ones we pick up. So we need a variable for that. And then if that gets above 10, then you just create another one where ghost isn't turned off.
So it could also be that ghost just doesn't turn off, and then then things help pick up more things.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you make the ring bigger? Do the A.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
So one thing we did in the other game, which I kind of liked, was we made a smooth transition as you were enlarging the ring. It was kind of fun. I don't know if that's super necessary here. So I kind of like this. I feel like we need to maybe finish the game mechanics though. And we don't have a ton of time left. So so you could just race around and collect all these things. I'm trying to think how you add challenge to this.
So I think the easy answer would be that we just, instead of doing this placing them randomly on the tile map thing, we do actually define a tile map that has walls and stuff. And kind of race around. So we still have it, we still place them on random transparent tiles, but we also edit our tile map to have walls.
I think it would be nice if the tile map was filled with dirt. So then you could see when you were moving. If you go to our gallery.
Yeah.
The ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can fill with dirt, and then instead of placing on top of empty tiles, we place on top of dirt tiles. And then yes, now the tile map itself could have walls. So so you sort of have to navigate a little bit. So maybe
I think you should make it bigger too.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do that. Let's say double or quadruple the size?
That should be plenty.
Okay, oops, not that tile, this dirt tile. And then let's add some walls. Well, the outside's implicitly a wall. I don't know if this is really a maze or kind of what this is.
We had time. It would be fun to just make it like its own little town or something.
Yeah.
Roads and things, but it's probably probably out of the scope of this stream.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a pseudo maze. It's not really, you know, a maze, but some little areas that are a little harder to get into, you might need to work to get in there.
Yeah. So like you can see things in places that you can't necessarily reach, and then you have to.
Have to kind of navigate around this. Something. All right. I think we're gonna.
Walls.
What's that?
You have to make them walls. We don't have
I need to make them walls. Yes, that's right. So I click the wall tool, going around, drawing all my walls.
Gotta fix that problem with the wall tool.
Yeah, and next arcade release, right?
That is true.
It's fixed in beta, I think. Okay, I just need a pencil. It's actually, oops, say that. Okay, so maybe you have a time limit to get a certain number?
Yeah.
All right. So why wouldn't you always just be at the maximum extension, swing? Because then you'll be able to pick up things most easily. Maybe the player moves slower when you do that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, so let's move. Oops, let's have move with buttons, and when you release, you go back to regular move with buttons. But if it's pressed, move with buttons, you're gonna set a custom velocity, which is like maybe pretty slow.
Yeah.
So you can do this, and then you can expand, but now you can't really like move fast. So I can kind of race around. I see some things farther away. I can go pick them up, and then.
I like that you can go through walls. That's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can't quite reach that one. Yeah. Going around. Yeah, I can get that. But still, it's like easy to toggle this on and off really quick. So I can just kind of go full speed and just tap it, when I need. So I think to fix that, I do want to do the gentle transition thing, which actually wasn't too hard. So the only thing I need now is a new variable. It's going to be called target orbit distance. And I'm going to set target orbit distance to the same thing in the beginning. And then when here, instead of setting the orbit distance directly when you're doing the A and B, I'm going to set target orbit distance instead. And all of our other code just works off of the true orbit distance. And now I'm going to have a game update loop, I guess, every 100 milliseconds or something, that is going to say, if the orbit distance is greater than, the target orbit distance is greater than the orbit distance, then we're just going to subtract a little bit. Whoops, not the orbiter. I want orbit distance. So target is greater than what it is. Oh, I just add something to the regular orbit distance, and the opposite in the other case. So I don't really know what speed we're going to want here, but oops, let's try 1 and see how smooth or not smooth this is. So this is.
I think you want to do a else if.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, we do want an else if, because once they reach the same target, we want to stop doing this. Okay. So if our target is bigger than what we want, we need to add to what we have, and vice versa. So now if I expand, it very slowly gets larger. And when I let go, it very slowly gets smaller. So I think we want this to be quite a bit faster. Let's see how that does.
Slow isn't bad, though. Whoa.
If orbit distance is greater than, change by -5. There we go. Yeah, slow's not too bad.
Yeah. I think that's fine, actually, right where you have it right now.
Try zooming around a bit. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah. You like take that pause to like expand.
It for sure slows down how you're like walking.
Yeah. And collect that through the wall. That. Oh, look at all these goodies. Coming for you. Nice.
Great. Look at I love the little tornado. It's
Ooh. Nice. I think that's pretty fun. So maybe you have a countdown and you have to get all 40 in the time. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Another thing you could do is for the orbit distance. If you added randomly 1 or 2, it'll kind of.
Oh yeah. Per thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great idea. So I'm going to create a new variable. I don't know what to call this.
Orbiter distance.
I think that's what it's called. Oh, it's called orbit distance right now. I'm gonna say modified distance. I don't know. I'm running out of inspiration for variable name ideas. So let's do an add of orbit distance plus a number that is going to be, I don't know, -10 to 10 might be too big.
Oh, that is definitely too big, but I want to see it.
I kind of want to see it too. Oh, actually, this isn't per. This is going to be weird. This is going to jiggle a lot. I almost, it would be really cool if I could make this persistent per.
There is a way to save.
Yes, there is.
Well, I think if you just make it 2, it'll look a lot more natural instead of 10.
Yeah, -2.
It'll be like everything is jittering around, which I think will make it a little
tornado-ier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Pick up one more. Yeah, this is not bad. It just makes it look like it's not like a perfect circle. It's like a circle.
I mean, you could maybe increase it even a little more to like -4 to 4 or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, guys, this is like, it's like one of those optical illusions where if you look at it enough, it switches direction.
Oh no.
I love it. It's like a sloppy tornado. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep it. Okay, so I get points every time I pick up one of these, and I'm going to add a countdown just real quick so that we have some way of losing the game. I guess you don't technically need a way to lose the game. Let's say you have 60 seconds, and then on countdown end, well, actually, let me think how to do this. So I'm just going to say here, as you're picking up, if the score is greater than or equal to, well, I can just say equal to 40. I should probably put this in a variable, but good enough. In this case, you win the game.
It's in game.
Game over win. So I think, so when countdowns end, do you lose the game automatically, or do I need to program that?
Yeah, it's game over by default.
Okay, so by default, when countdowns end, you lose the game. Oops, gotta mute that. So you've got 60 seconds to go around and pick up all of these things. So I'm going to try one thing real quick. If we have time, I'm going to add the sprite arcade data extension, and I'm going to try setting a different orbiter. So this extension lets you store some data on sprites, and we've done this in a number of streams, and I'm going to go kind of quick here. I'm going to say on the thing, I want to say the distance is going to be a random value between, let's say 10 and the like Mac.
Can't do that. You
Wait.
need to store offset.
You could just,
Yeah, there'll be an offset. Yeah, okay. So it'll be an offset 0 to 20 or something.
I think you still want
And then,
or I guess it doesn't matter.
yeah, that's actually, it'll be easier if it can be negative, because then yeah, it'll just make that a little bit easier. So the now here I can get that offset. So I'm going to get as number, and the actual angle is going to be, let's see, so it's going to be the orbiters, this distance as a number, and I'm going to drop that in here instead of the other distance that we had.
Well,
no.
You wanted to replace the pick random, not the distance.
I guess I wanted to do both, because the jitter was kind of cool still.
Well,
the distance is an offset, so you still need to.
Yeah, you need the other distance, otherwise you won't be able to do the grow shrink thing.
Yeah. Orbit distance. Right, so I was going to do another plus in here. That is the offset. So this is one big plus expression.
That's the angle that you just took out.
Oh, shoot.
Press undo a few times.
There we go. Let's take all this, put in there.
Oh, I see. So you want like a big jitter and then also a small jitter.
Yes. Well, small variance. I'm hoping that it's not actually much of a jitter. Oh, right. And so we didn't set an orbit distance for our first orbiter, which I should do. Otherwise, it's not gonna participate correctly in this. So I'm gonna say the orbiter. Oh my! I hate when I have too many variables. Distance to 0. It'll have the default offset. Okay, crap. What did I do? So distance to a random number. Distance to 1 to 0. Did I mess up my expression here? We're getting the orbiter's data distance.
Are those both pluses, or is one of the divides?
This is a divide. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I think what will happen is we have jitter, but also kind of variance. So you have some things that are just closer together.
I think you should make the jitter less. So maybe like -2 to 2 again.
Yeah, -2.
You should make the variance a little less as well.
The variance less.
Yeah.
Like 5 to -5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think coming closer to kelp is actually more okay than going farther away.
Okay.
From a gameplay perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. What do you guys think?
Make it bigger.
I like it. This looks very tornado-y.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. That kind of worked out. Let's see if I can, we've got just a couple of minutes left. Let's see if I can beat this game. So there's a car, some hay, some cats.
Cows.
Those. There we go.
Okay, so I think you can reduce that time by like
a lot.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Really going for it now. Sing along. Okay. Could always get unlucky with
placement.
Oh, I can't reach those. Can't get
Yeah,
that.
it's a kind of concept that maybe we could devote a whole stream to, but when you have randomness in your game, you don't always want it to be actually random.
Yeah.
You want it to be kind of guided random so that you can control how difficult or hard it is. And a lot of times you want to fudge the randomness to be in the player's favor. So if you generate something that's fair, you can do that by like, oh man, you're just trying to destroy all of the perf in this game, Daryl.
Yeah,
we already have too many sprites.
let's. I just want to see.
This is not going to run on hardware if you're doing particles too.
This will not run on hardware, but I'm adding a little particle.
Don't do the particles.
Yes. You can't even really see them.
Trail is hard because
because it's sort of a granular thing.
Yeah, Trail doesn't
actually run into perf issues on computers too. You should.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to encourage you to do that. So you don't want to do too many particle effects at once, because that is one of the most taxing things on your computer that you can do in Arcade. And lots of them, like we would have here, would be quite difficult.
Yes, having 40 separate particle sources all on screen is a bad idea.
Yeah, you will slow things down.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're coming to the end of the time, so it's naming time.
All right. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, naming the game. Kelp's magnetic aura.
Kelp in Kansas?
Kelp in Kansas.
Kelp NATO.
NATO, yes. Kelp NATO magnetic aura in Kansas.
Perfect. That one. I mean, wait, let me talk to the testing groups. Yeah, they love it.
Kelp NATO magnetic aura in Kansas.
It's testing really well in Kansas, guys.
Great. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Daryl at Darzoo on the forum.
I'm Richard everywhere.
I'm Shannon at Shakao on the forum.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.